I rise to present ACR 37, which declares April 24th, 2017 as California Holocaust Memorial Day. For the past decade, the California State Assembly has honored survivors of the Holocaust during a designated California Holocaust Memorial. On this day, we remember the 6 million Jews and countless other victims, survivors, and liberators of the Holocaust. A mere 72 years separate us from a carefully orchestrated, state-sponsored program to annihilate an entire cultural, social, and political identity. This program of countless atrocities of Nazi tyranny, which we now call the Holocaust, resulted in the murder of 11 million people. Of those 11 million, parents, children, friends, and neighbors were 6 million Jews. Before the Nazi rise to power in 1933, Europe had a vibrant and deeply rooted Jewish culture. By 1945, 2 out of every 3 European Jews had been killed. Entire families, cultures, villages, and cities were wiped off the face of the earth because of these cruel and barbarous acts. We must recall, reflect upon, and acknowledge these events to ensure that hatred never again leads to such immense tragedy. Remembering the darkness of that time is not the only reason we are here. Survivors went on with their lives, raised families, started businesses, and created a state for the Jewish people. While we remember the tragedy, we must also honor the resilience, the triumph, and the endurance of the human spirit. We must recognize the heroism of those who provided assistance to the victims of the Nazi regime and teach our children and future generations that acts of heroism during the Holocaust serve as a powerful example of how our nation and how we as individual citizens can and must respond to acts of hatred and inhumanity. We must remain aware that the Holocaust did not escalate overnight. The bigotry and discrimination against Jews and other people that the Nazi party considered undesirable began as an ideology promoted many years before their rise to power. Events like today are here to remind us that freedoms cannot be taken for granted and that we must always be vigilant against hatred, bigotry, and discrimination in our world. Members, we are deeply honored to be joined by those who tell their inspiring stories of survival and perseverance, because they are also the stories of the millions who paid the ultimate sacrifice and are not here with us today. We who were not there will never be able to fully comprehend the Holocaust in the same way as those who experienced it firsthand. Nevertheless, it is our responsibility to do all we can to listen, learn, and document each story so that we may pass this knowledge on to our children and grandchildren in the hope that this will never happen again.